battling with Apter, who as the touch last go off the Burton left wing back Dodgson. Kerry. Wilson tight to him, Fire winning it. On now to James Husband for Blackpool. Stop the cross going in the penalty area. He sent that one out of the stadium and onto the roof of the stand where Blackpool are shooting into. Found himself in a position on the edge of the area. You knew if a Burton head was there first, it was going to go towards Hamilton. Recognition, and as part of the EFL's stance and its member clubs on tackling and eradicating homophobia within football, whereas they show their support to the LGBTQ plus community. Budvarsson, good feet shown by the Burton number 10. Armour coming inside, left-footed. That's on through though to Tyra, who holds on at the first time of asking. Just on that occasion, it just took away the Blackpool midfield there. Armour came inside. Decent position to try and shoot from range, which he did, but it was straight at the Blackpool keeper, Harry Tyra. Best of balls towards Husband. Well, he will be ecstatic with what he's seen so far. His team simply just have to keep putting the pressure on the teams above them. They have got a very big game coming up. They're away to fellow relegation rival Bristol Rovers next weekend. They do have no mid-week fixture to navigate to Burton, unlike their opponents in 7 days' time. But what is going to be their only home fixture of this month, it is starting out in fine fashion for Burton, who look very comfortable at the moment. Blackpool press towards the Burton back three. Not there at the moment, non-existent. Fire stepping in, winning it ahead of Chowke. Now on to Rob Apter. First time the ball has been at his feet as he's now looking to try and get the better of Dodgson and beats him. Good feet by Apter, ball in towards Fletcher. Straight though through to Crocombe, but that's more like it from Blackpool. Apter has been quiet so far in this game. Managed to find him, managed as well Apter to take on his wing back. Ball in though, did let him down as it was just a little bit too straight and not away from the goalkeeper. Elkan Baggott. Blackpool still yet to really make Max Crocombe work in the Burton goal. Plenty of time for that to change for a side, remember, on a decent little away run coming into this. Morgan to fellow central midfield partner Sonny Carey. Fletcher, Carey once more. Good build at this by Blackpool, just a little bit too much on the pass to Husband. Just that ball let Carey down a little bit there. If Husband got it to his feet, I think he would have been able to have put in the cross rather than spend that time trying to just chase onto it. Just those little finer details that Kerry just needs to polish there, and that might have been different. Husband has to go back. Husband looks up Fletcher, getting beyond Van Kooten. Now trying to get away from Sweeney. Down he goes. The referee not interested. Ashley Fletcher certain that he was fouled in there by Ryan Sweeney. Steve Bruce and the Blackpool coaching staff of the same opinion. Well, he got away from Van Kooten, did Fletcher. Sweeney battling with Fletcher there. There was certainly a hand on the back of Fletcher there. Whether or not it was enough for a penalty, I'm not so sure about that, but no doubt Ryan Sweeney might have just been a little bit anxious when Fletcher went down there. He's already had one bad experience playing against this side this season. Doesn't want to have another one. Luckily, though, didn't happen. Simply Fletcher and Ennis have not been in this game enough for Blackpool so far. Tyrett. Possession at the moment, Blackpool, but not really going anywhere at the moment of real substance. Hamilton. Fire. It with him a couple of yards. The longer route chosen by Baggott there. It's now got towards Ennis. His effort though is wide of the goal. Well, that's the first sighting he's had. Turned his body, did get the shot away, was presented to him from Udoka Godwin-Malief, whose clearance fell straight to Niall Ennis, who ultimately hit his shot off target. Running with it now is Husband, through to Hamilton. That's a lovely ball. The target might be Fletcher, who's actually steered it well away from the goal. Harvey Morgan picking it up though. Beautiful pass through by James Husband beyond Udoka Godwin-Malief into Hamilton. Just that ball towards Fletcher. Maybe not the best for Fletcher there. Ennis towards Carey. Chauke winning it. Finding Webster, who tries to find Burrell, the goal scorer, but Elkan Baggott back to allow the ball to reach Ramon Burrell. Here now comes Chauke. Challenged by Morgan, deflects off him. Dodgson's ball in. Deep cross in, which Blackpool get to. goes Ennis from the challenge of Jack Armour, spotted by the referee. Free kick is a Blackpool one. Well, certainly visible to see that Armour was tugging on the shirt of Niall Ennis there. Certainly over the last 5 minutes plus, it's been a lot better from Blackpool. Taken short by Tyrell. The Burton players just retreated towards their own final third. Morgan sending it in, Fletcher's header. Very difficult ask to head that one in, or even on target there. Looked up, did Morgan. Fletcher did win the header. Decent attempt by the Blackpool forward. Well, it is amazing to think for Burton that Romain Burrell is sort of showing the form he's been in, given the fact that he still actually is not Burton's top goal scorer. That is Danilo Orsi, who left the club towards the latter stages of the deadline in the January window to go and reunite with Scott Lindsay at MK Dons. It is amazing to think as well that Burrell has scored all his goals in just such a short space of time. And that's a beautiful little touch into Webster, who plays it into space. And he plays it to a Fire, who's looked up and found Rob Apter. Niall Ennis sticking his arm out and getting it. Sweeney coming across, slides in. And it will go out of play for a Blackpool corner. Threw himself into the challenge there, did the Burton captain. Be another corner for the visitors. Apter once again taking it from this right side. Baggott will win the header. On target, but held onto by Crocombe. Yeah, that's the person, no doubt, who stands out in there, given his height, is Elkan Baggott. Gets up well above Godwin Malif. Sweeney there as well, but Crocombe right on his line, able to hold on. Well, that's the first time he's had to make a save, I can recall. Steve Bruce did say before kick-off that Blackpool are nudging toward where they want to be. I think they are starting to show a little bit more consistency. They've sort of had both ends of the scale, haven't they? They had such an amazing run, a great honeymoon period to start under Steve Bruce. Then they had that run of 8 successive losses, which really brought them back down to earth. And then you've sort of seen both cycles, at the right end and the wrong end as well. They do remain in 13th place to the visitors going into this game because of, you'd probably have to say, their home form. Just 2 home wins all season, and the last one coincidentally came against this side, who they beat on the 28th of September. If they had gotten a few more wins, no doubt they'd be closer to the chasing pack, pushing for the playoffs. But Varson on towards Burrell, who's in again here. Burrell first time. Well saved by Tyra, who's able to push it out for a corner. Well, he won't be beating him a second time. Burrell spun behind Husband. First time effort. Tyra equal to it. Well positioned to save it as near post to deny him. But that is where the threat is, and Blackpool fans don't need me to remind them. They would have known that before kick-off, and they've known that during the game. But that pairing of Budvarsson and Burrell is working an absolute delight. Corner taker Dodgson gets it back, delivered into the penalty area right the way through, and Tyra makes a vital stop. The offside flag is raised. Well, it was a delicious ball in. Flag raised after the save was made from Tyra. Brilliant reactions to keep that out. But Blackpool have had to thank their goalkeeper on two occasions in the last few minutes. Albeit though, had that gone in from that ball in, it wouldn't have stood because the player who had the attempt would have been offside. And they were all ball watching, all asleep. No one in white aware of what was behind them. There was a couple of players who went for it for Burton, and it nearly came up with a success. Fletcher, Hamilton trying the flick back heel, but can't find Fletcher. Van Kooten struggling to clear. He's eventually get it right. Now Budvarsson carrying it forward. Morgan swipes Budvarsson down. Carl Brooks says play on. Dodgson now onto Armour, playing across the floor towards Webster. It's good feed by Webster, who can't keep the effort down. Well, he evaded a challenge, did Charlie Webster. Would eventually shoot, but just couldn't keep it down. But again, nice play by Burton. A different type of attempt and shot created there, and a different player who had that attempt in Charlie Webster. But with that fail, the hosts could be and maybe should be more than the one goal up. Morgan on now to Adela Fire. Looks like both sides are trying to have a strong end to this first half. Morgan's ball in, Fletcher. So CJ Hamilton's. The last 5 minutes, big 5 minutes. Burton, no doubt, will be the more ecstatic of the two from this first half. That's clear, that's obvious. But maybe will Gary Bowyer feel just a little bit frustrated that the chances they've had compared to their visitors could be deemed enough to maybe warrant them going further ahead. Should they win this game, Burton Albion, and hold on currently, still be in the bottom four, but now would be 2 points off Peterborough, their closest challenger, just above them in the table. He's still kept in by JJ McKiernan, despite the Blackpool player protest. Dodgson's ball in. Seemingly, Oliver Casey and Elkan Baggott have had to do that quite a lot in this first half, just head when Dodgson's crosses into their penalty area. Fletcher trying to give the return to Apter. Well, intercepted by Armour. Husband looking for the high ball. Fletcher's header. Looking for Niall Ennis. And Keaton's clearance did go out. There will be a Blackpool throw. Kick from Crocombe, one that did get a few groans from the home fans. Morgan. Apter. Kiernan tight to him, going to ground and winning it. With the ball in. Seen out for a goal kick by Crocombe. Well, if you could say one little criticism maybe for Blackpool is that they haven't gone out wide enough. We know the threat, we know the danger, we know the pace and the quality that Apter and Hamilton can bring. So you remember Rob Apter last year for Tranmere shining in League Two. We always felt that Blackpool were going to use him and he could be that valuable asset. Brook has to stop the players. Terence Van Kooten is now down. And you're feeling the effects of that landing when competing with a Blackpool player. Fletcher just leans into him. It does maybe appear as though that the pain on the face of Van Kooten is from maybe his lower back. He's up and raring to go. Morgan chasing and getting ahead of McKiernan. Husband's pass towards Morgan is one that sees him having to sprint to get to. Apter's cross. Once again, though, into the hands of the Burton keeper, Max Crocombe, who I don't think will be in any rush to kick this one out of his hands and immediately get rid of the ball. Just diffuse it as time is ticking down as we close in on the end of the first half here at the Pirelli and in Staffordshire. As here at the moment in Burton upon Trent, it is Burton upon cloud 9 and keeping their unbeaten run, and in the process ending Blackpool's. We'll find out now the stoppage time.
1 minute running time.
Just an additional 60 seconds of additional time. As Burton are trying their very best to close out the first half. Morgan forward, Fletcher is behind him. They have not been afraid to go long in this first half of Blackpool. Actually, Fletcher has almost appeared sort of in every position. Whether it's been down the middle, on either flank, to try and get Blackpool towards Max Crocombe's goal. Look at the watch from Carl Brook. And that means that's the end of the first 45 minutes, in which Burton Albion will no doubt be the happier of the two. Romain Burrell, League One's Player of the Month, bagging and continuing the form he showed in the first month of the year into the second one. A lovely neat finish over Harry Tyrer is the difference at the break, as Burton Albion fighting for their lives at the bottom of the third tier lead Blackpool here at the Pirelli by a single goal to nil.
Birthday messages. Happy birthday to Cody.
Pirelli Stadium. And as mentioned, they've met twice already this season. Burton's last win against Blackpool came on Boxing Day 2023. Bobby Camwa of now Newport with the only goal that won the game for Burton, who were managerless heading into the game against Blackpool just over a year ago. Dodson goes down. Albert, the referee, blows his whistle, convinced that there was enough of a touch from Fletcher to give away a foul. That decision did slightly annoy the Blackpool fans. As you can see, the large contingent of them have made the journey down. McKiernan. Jack Armour. Larson with the heavy touch. It was a pointless chase. He just stopped himself and let the ball go out for a throw. Now Ennis has a lovely turn to get away from Sweeney. Now in towards James Husband, roared on by the Blackpool fans. On now towards CJ Hamilton. Ennis, can he turn again here? Goes down. And it will be a Burton free kick and not a Blackpool penalty. Fine work from Charlie Webster to win the free kick for his side. As soon as the referee blowed his whistle, you didn't know what he was going to give, and actually the referee Carl Brook makes the correct call. Certainly is more of a foul on Webster than Webster fouling Ennis. Brilliant defensive work by Charlie Webster there, who was smart and clever as he wins a free kick for his side. There is Armour. He's found playing at the left side of the back three quite easy. Burrell. On to JJ McKiernan. Webster will cross. Dodson. Webster down. Morgan in the back of him, free kick. Maybe perhaps was a little bit lucky to escape without a caution in the first half was Albie Morgan. Doesn't want to try and keep making fouls to force the ref's hand into booking him. But once again, it'll be a Dodson delivery, potentially, but it looks like he's left it for Charlie Webster to take. So a different taker for the Blackpool defence to deal with. Let's see how this free kick goes. Van Kooten is penalised as he fouls Ashley Fletcher. All Burton have just simply got to do at the moment in League One, in their predicament and in their position, is just to simply keep plugging away. Just keep narrowing the gap to the teams above them. Peterborough, their nearest challengers, in 20th. Of course, they are 21st in the standings, Burton, meaning they hold and occupy the last relegation spot. That draw away to Barnsley last weekend, given how well they've done of late, there was actually a lot of disappointment that they came away from Oakwell with only a point and not three. They could have won it with Fabio Tavares having a really good chance right at the end of the game in Yorkshire. It just shows in such a short space of time how the mood has changed, that the team in the bottom four was not content with getting just a point at a side chasing the playoffs. In the penalty area he goes. Back heels it on towards Dodson. After getting a foot to it, he has to give away a corner. A rather wasted ball in that. I don't think you need to tell Owen Dodson that. season, Blackpool were expected to kick on and challenge the playoffs. They just missed out last year under Neil Critchley in their first season back in Sky Bet League One. Of course, Critchley was binned after losing their opening 2 games, which probably was a follow-on effect from last season's failure. A lot of work to do if they are to be a top 6 side. A fire. Morgan. Plenty of white shirts in there. Can it be a better ball in this time? Goes the same route again. It's McKiernan once again who meets it this time, though heads it not out for a corner. Burrell making it difficult. He will chase with Odala fire. Burrell has managed to keep that in play. The free kick has gone Blackpool's way as Burrell was deemed to be fouling a fire there, but that was an intriguing foot race between those two. Baggott. Trying to find Apter there, but did not. And it's always going to be interesting to see how the first quarter of an hour of this second half played out. We're only 10 minutes in, so we've still got another 5 to go before we hit the hour mark in this contest. Next Crocombe and Burton's defence. Still yet to really see Blackpool really test them and make them a little bit nervous. In by Apter, no foul. Here's now Roman Burrell trying to find Budvarsson. Sonny Carey through towards Hamilton, who sees the ball just cannon off the back of his heel. Husband now to Hamilton, that's the ball that he wants. In towards Ennis, it's got to Fletcher. You expect at least a ball in like that, somewhat at the back post for Blackpool. Sonny Carey does really well to make the beeline towards that sort of outside on the right of the penalty area, just outside. He gets that cross in, you expect at least someone there. Baggott was a little bit too central and expected at least a couple more there at least, but didn't happen at all. Brook here, not happy with Max Crocombe. Give the ball back to a teammate of his. Budvarsson challenged by the Blackpool defence. Webster's had a really good game in there for Burton. Armour. Burrell's header though through to Harry Tyrett. Well, with a lot of the players that came in, it's pretty much an entire new squad for Burton. Mark Robinson was trying to find a settled team. He was making a lot of changes, as you would with so many new players coming in. Harry Bowyer has come in, trimmed the squad and has managed to get a settled team. Here's now Niall Ennis. He will lay it on. Apter to Sonny Carey. Hamilton on now to Fletcher. What will he do with it from here? Husband's ball in. Sweeney flinging himself to head away. He did get the shot from Crocombe. He was looking to try and collect it. As Burton here are going to make a change as James Jones, fresh face from Wrexham over the January window, is going to come on.
Please welcome for his Pirelli Stadium home debut, number 30.
It's a home debut as well for Jones, who replaces Charlie Webster, so fresher legs in midfield.
And all of your substitutions brought to you by
Help Wrexham to back to fire. Pass was never on to Apter as Burrell intercepts. Ennis now on to Rob Apter. Morgan curls it in. Hamilton's header. But what a good chance that was for Blackpool, which CJ Hamilton has headed wide. Lovely flighted ball in by Albie Morgan. Hamilton in the right spot, but just didn't really guide it well. I don't really think he's actually headed that on the right part. If it maybe come off his forehead, it might have been nestling into the bottom corner beyond Crocombe, but it just seemed to go off the top of his head and wide of the goal. He did the hard part, which was making the run and then getting on the end of the cross, but could not apply that finishing touch that would have got Blackpool level here at the Pirelli. There is now Husband. It has felt like it's all been Blackpool in terms of trying to go forward and make something happen. A fire. Left footed out now towards Apter. He will cross. But knocking it back first time to his keeper. Well, this does feel like a really important period in this game now for Burton. They're probably going to see substantial pressure from Blackpool. It's just about not trying to give chances away and staying on red alert, keeping their shape. Through now to Max Crocombe, who will pick up the ball. When will the time be when Steve Bruce decides enough's enough and will make on-pitch personnel changes? He used his bench brilliantly last weekend. With Silvera and Ennis going on to salvage Husband short to Sonny Carey. Now to Oliver Casey. Carey now coming forward with it. Way first time. As well to hold off Budvarsson, who went down a bit too easily. Carey chipping it through. Hamilton with the header. He's offside. Fence and that ball was played through. But he's making his runs in all different places, isn't he? Whether it's through the middle or sort of trying to make them wide. He's trying to be a live wire in there for Blackpool. He's trying his very, very best to give an option or try and do something, but hasn't yet made it work. Sweeney getting his head in where he hurts there. Wouldn't have mind taking a boot from Ennis there. Dodgson onto Burrell. Much smoother control then. He probably would have fancied his chances of bagging himself and his side a second. He just comes in flashes, doesn't he, does Romain Burrell? He's not really been in the game too much, but in the short periods he's been involved, he's been very effective. Husband touched on now towards Hamilton. Good work by Godwin Malif to take it off him and then take it away from his side's final third. New ball, please. As Blackpool will now make a change. James Husband waves goodbye to this game. As Silvera is going to come on.
Replacing Kareem, James Husband is 19.
The fifth game running. The young Aussie comes on from the bench for Blackpool. Still yet to start since joining on loan.
Business advisors, your local experts.
It did mean he had to drop down a division for regular game time after not quite getting what he and his parent club wanted from a loan at Portsmouth at the start of the campaign. Godwin Malif. It has been rare to see Burton inside Blackpool's half of the pitch in this second half. Do you wonder now what Blackpool will do now with Husband going off? If it does mean that there's a couple of position changes, or if there's just simply a formation change. After a bit of thinking, has given that Burton's way. Ashley Fletcher, as soon as the ball did go out of play, just stared at him, waiting for an answer. Gary Bowyer did praise the Burton Albion home support in their recent wins over Rotherham and Reading. He's going to hopefully want them again. Here's now Van Kooten on towards McKiernan. Takes it on. Here's a chance. It's still not over yet though. Offside flag though is now up. McKiernan's shot did get blocked. Blackpool's defence just stopped. And certainly at first thought, did think that ball might have been heading out for a corner kick, but just shows how big that block was. It just sort of stopped mid-air and didn't fully go out. A play that Burton were trying to capitalise, but the flag would eventually go up. As Ashley Fletcher thought he could lean in on Sweeney there, but Carl Brook was spotted and given the free kick the host's way. Crocombe sending that all the way into the Blackpool penalty area. Godwin Malif touched on by Budvarsson Sweeney. So it come off him and head over the bar. More just a simple stretch of the leg, I think, from Ryan Sweeney there. It was more hope than anything else, I think. been a predominant feature in the Burton side all the way through the campaign as the captain, Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney going home to Crocombe. He gets a lot on that. Jake Beasley is warming up for Blackpool. His introduction could be very shortly into this game. Hopefully trying to change their fortunes where they are trailing in this game. And as it stands, Burton's winners coming from a man in just red hot form in number 18, Roman Burrell. So much so that he's in such red hot form, he was given the League One Player of the Month award in January. Sonny Carey trying to find CJ Hamilton but can't. Morgan. Rob Apter. Trying to see if he can get the better of Dodson. Has got a corner for his side. Corner taken short. Burton hopefully trying to stay alert here, and they deal with it. Is now the ball's gone straight to James Jones. Striding forward is now McKiernan. Wide to Dodson. Low ball across the floor. It's missed by a fire. But Varson trying to get it in. Challenge goes in on the Icelandic forward. With both a fire and Elkan Baggott that stopped him. There's now Blackpool to come forward. Apter's ball will reach Fletcher, who can't get around Jack Armour, who stands up valiantly and now brings the ball forward for Burton. He's got to just go on his own here as Armour. Has he got a free kick? Yes, he has. So two fine examples of defending there from Armour and then bringing the ball forward. As this is what Budvarsson was trying to do, steer the ball in. It came off Adela Fire. Elkan Baggott, senses were going off there that he had to try and not see the ball end up in the net, courtesy of Jon Daddy Budvarsson. Got in the way, big tackle. Keeps it at 1-0, not one, not two, but three. Blackpool changes in the offing very shortly. Steve Bruce still not satisfied with what he's seeing, as Burton look to try and make their lead a better one. This is everybody out there. McKiernan sprinting. Short to Godwin Malif. Armour. Through to Burrell, who loses out to Adela Fire. Apter being held onto by Owen Dodson there. Holbrook, the yellow card in his hand. And will direct it towards Owen Dodson.
Triple change for
So three changes here for Blackpool.
76 minutes.
Lee Evans is going to go on as Adela Fire goes off.
Replacing 11, Ashley Fletcher, is 18, Jake Beasley.
So Jake Beasley on for Ashley Fletcher. That's very much like for like. Ashley Fletcher doesn't seem all too happy about that. And Hayden Coulson on, Rob Apter off for Blackpool, as they make their three changes. And two more January acquisitions are going to come off for Burton in Kyron Lofthouse and Fabio Tavares. Jon Daddy Budvarsson, 4 goals in 5 games for Burton since signing from Wrexham. Can't add to his tally today, but has played a significant part in his side having the lead. as his header was the assist for Romain Barrel's goal. And Lofthouse will come on as JJ McKinnon will go off. Gary Bowyer did say that Kyron Lofthouse has got copious amounts of versatility in him. He could play both full-back, wing-back areas. He could play centre-half and even in centre midfield. He said he once saw him play for National League side Gateshead in a central midfield role. He says a valuable commodity for a player to have, and has now decided to bring him on. Who just don't tend to play. Won by Evans. Beasley into Ennis. Bounces off Beasley and out for a goal kick. It's a different partner now for Niall Ennis to try and work with and try and understand in. Jake Beasley is very much a sort of little and large combination, very much like that. You maybe would have expected it a little bit with Fletcher and Ennis, but Fletcher is very much a player like Ennis. I think he's a player with a big size about him, but he wants, I think, to finish off the chances, where I think maybe Beasley could be that player who's going to provide that for Blackpool and be that bit of a target man that maybe has just been missing today. Not easy for Tyra there, who does eventually clear it. Circling to try and get some sort of a block was Romain Barrel. Evans on the ball now for Blackpool. One of the three subs just been made by Steve Bruce. Morgan. Cross goes in again, evades everybody in white. Dr. Godwin Malif smashes it into the Burton sky. They had a lot of the possession in the first half and didn't really go anywhere with it, did Blackpool. Feels like the same story in this second half, with time running out. Aidan Coulson. Long by Evans. Target was Beasley. TJ Hamilton now playing on his favoured right side. Evans at the first time cross, smacks off Kegs Chowke. With Yondani Budvarson off now, Romain Barrel is really going to have to do two people's running, not just one. Silvera, now for Blackpool. Can he repeat what he did 7 days ago? On now to Aidan Coulson, into the penalty area, he drives on, low into the penalty area. Misses both Ennis and Baggott, as the pair of them could not steer that one in. It's a dangerous ball in from Aidan Coulson. Wonderful play across the box. It just needs someone, anyone, but no one there to do it for Blackpool. Well, there's not been enough of that from Blackpool all afternoon. Already a difference made by Coulson. As it looks like Sonny Kerr is now lining up a long throw here. Cleared up towards Romain Barrel. He's going to have to take this on his own here. He could do as well. Barrel! Denied by Tyra, who saves. Got down very low to smother the shot from Romain Barrel. It was just a simple clearance out of the box straight to Barrel. He's the only one up there, so he knows he can't pass it to anyone in yellow. Won't mind being presented with chances when he knows that he won't get any flat because there was someone he could have played it to, had to go on his own. So fair play to Harry Tyra, who keeps him out and keeps it at 1-0. It was played on by James Jones, beautifully picked out, great vision to see him. Burrell carried on, just couldn't quite get it far enough wide of Tyra there. Certainly had made a lot of running to get to that point beforehand. There's now Fabio Tavares, who has got fresh legs, gets on the end of that pass. Dodson up in support. Nothing though. Comes off for Burton there. Easy trying to knock it into Sonny Carey, but that's fine work from James Jones, who takes a little bit of a knock as well for his troubles. There's an unfortunate slip as now Kyron Lofthouse is trying to pick out Tavares. The ball though, can't find him as Blackpool's defence slide in clear. Well, it was nearly an unfortunate slip as Kyron Lofthouse was able to just carry on. He found himself trying to pick out a Burton player. Fabio Tavares was the player he was trying to find, but not able to on this occasion. Chalke, Jones. And by Van Kooten to Godwin Malif. He's away from Silvera. Now drops it in towards Lofthouse. Jon Burrell away. Maybe Kyron Lofthouse there could have just carried on. He was in a nice position inside the opposition box. Now by Jones as Carey goes down. And speaking of going down, Udoka Godwin Malif is for Burton Albion. Evans just being told where he's got to take this free kick from, was just trying to take it a few yards forward, was the now Blackpool skipper. Away by Armour. The footed ball in by Evans has bounced off his own player. Blackpool's defence don't need to sprint back as they can all just stay in the Burton half of the pitch, and likewise for Burton, their players don't need to sprint out to close the Blackpool defence. Nice ball on from Morgan into Hamilton, deflects off Armour. Jones just flicking it away and then getting it back nicely from Dodson. Now Tavares is getting to that point in the game where Burton will just be happy to have the ball inside the opposition half. Dodson's ball in's low. Tyra going in. Burrell just knocks into him. That means that he can't hold on. Not an easy ball for a keeper to deal with, but both went for it. Unfortunately, though, Burrell just knocks into the side of Tyra. Evans. CJ Hamilton taking on Tavares and getting away from him across the box. Here's a chance for Niall Ennis, and that's a vital block. It just looked like he was going to just put the ball in the net, but it just did not happen, and how Burton were determined to make sure that didn't happen as well. Hamilton's ball in, Crocombe cleared it straight to Ennis, and there's a vital Burton touch in there to not allow the ball to go in. Ryan Sweeney. Anything, any part of his body will do to stop a goal, which he did there. Proper heroic defending there from the Burton captain. Blackpool come again. Ennis has lost out. Did his very best to make sure Sweeney's ball didn't go any further forward, but it will be a Burton throw. Well, there's been a big effort from Gary Bowyer's side in this second half to limit Blackpool. Not over the line just yet. Casey. Silvera. Carey has a go. Always rising. Came to him, and we haven't seen a lot of attempts from Blackpool towards Crocombe's goal in this game. One there from Sonny Carey, which flies over. As Max Crocombe is now booked by Carl Brook, the referee. He warned him early in the second half about taking his time from goal kicks. Carl Brook has had enough and now decides to show Crocombe a yellow card. Last minute of normal time. Burton still feels like we're just all still too comfortable. Baggott's ball forward. Dodson struggles to clear. Evans. Ball in. It was a rather poor one. Left for a goal kick. I think he looks like he's trying to angle that towards the far side, but he's maybe just hit that with the sort of wrong part of his foot. I think he was trying to switch it to the far side, but he's probably curled it too much and it's gone straight out for a goal kick. Four added minutes here at the Pirelli. Burton closing in on making it 6 unbeaten in League One, ending Blackpool's run in the process. Blackpool have already drawn 11 times this season. Can they make it number 12 and do it in late dramatic circumstances? Forward by Baggott, it seems the direct route is the best way for Blackpool. On to Evans. That's a better ball to find a teammate this time. Morgan. Evans' ball in, deflects. Crocombe comes out and gathers it. And he will now go in to the turf and may just get some needed attention from the medical staff. Might have just got a little nick on the side of his face from Ennis as he was trying to win that battle. Well, prior to 2025, Burton had only won once at home in the league. That came on the 9th of November against Shrewsbury, with Tom Hounsell in charge. Since January, Rotherham and Reading have been beaten. Now they can add Blackpool to the list, Gary Bowyer's old club. as it stands. With them just keep getting results, it's meaning they keep plugging away and just keep asking questions of the sides directly above them. It's dragged Peterborough closer now. And it makes that game next week against Bristol Rovers huge for their season. Here's Hayden Coulson, nicely on now to Sonny Carey. Silvera, what can he do? Gets that ball in, there's the header, and Blackpool have equalised! Albion Morgan meets the cross, and Blackpool may have just salvaged something from the Pirelli Stadium. What a header by Albion Morgan! They did it late against Charlton last weekend. They're going to do it later here at Burton Albion. And Albion Morgan, diving header off the inside of the post beyond Crow coming in. And Blackpool dramatically may have just got a point from Staffordshire. Well, they've been wanting a cross to pay off in the entire game. How it's managed to do so with that header from Albion Morgan. Big header indeed. And will they now try and look to go one better? Onto Burrell now for Burton. There is now Tavares. Chalke, now to Van Kooten. Forward it goes, over here, and out for a goal kick. Rolling ball, says Carl Brooks, so it will be a restart from the goal kick. Well, with Morgan scoring, it means we're going to have a little bit longer into stoppage time. Put in by Chalke, brilliantly away, and carries on now for Burton Albion. This would be the ultimate stealing of a point off Blackpool. Foul goes against Ramon Burrell, who just leans into Hayden Coulson, and that might just be that. As Burton's attempts of trying to win it and take the lead again may have just been scuppered. Well, there is the full-time whistle. Well, Burton Albion were just minutes away from getting a third straight home win until Albion Morgan's wonderful header off the inside of the post meant Blackpool picked up their 12th draw of the League One season. Ramon Burrell put Burton in front in the first half, but deep into stoppage time, Albion Morgan's header has salvaged the point for Blackpool here at the Pirelli Stadium. Full-time, Burton Albion 1, Blackpool 1 here in Staffordshire.